welcome back to another episode of the Golden Domers Report. I am Landen and Traylor, joined by Dylan Kerns as usual. No JR or Logan today.
Bummer.
Yeah, bummer. It's a bummer, but back to, you can't have them on every week. Unfortunately, we would love to, but Logan's working, JR is working, and they have lives.
We're working.
Yeah, they're big kids. They're big. They're in the adult world. Dylan, I do have to point out real quick that you have a lot of nerve getting on the show with an Atlanta Braves hat. I do like the shirt. I'll post ATL postseason, but just the hat, you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah, I was at game 1 of the NLCS. Almost went to game 2, but you feel the vibe around the place, right? There's any chance you can get a postseason shirt of a team, no matter where you are. I mean, it's the atmosphere was insane. The team played well, a couple walk-off wins over the weekend. So, I mean, I'm not a Braves fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I like good baseball and I like the atmosphere. So I'll rep a shirt.
I will never put on a shirt besides the St. Louis Cardinals. That Cardinal, nothing else is going to go on my head or chest here without STL or the Curse of Cardinals or the St. Louis logo. So, well, Dylan, let's get right into it. Notre Dame coming off of a 32-29 win 2 weeks ago, coming up on 2 weeks against Virginia Tech, as I disappear off my screen for a minute to pull off my notes. Look, while it wasn't impressive, you got to look at it from an overall standpoint of what it meant to us. That is a great confidence-building win. To go into Lane Stadium, I don't care what you say. I don't care how bad of a team Virginia Tech is. They're not really that bad, but I don't care. That environment at night is rocking. You can't even deny it. That is one of the best atmospheres at night. You have a team, a historical program like Notre Dame coming into your stadium. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be rocking.
Yeah, they found a way to compete. I like it.
And pull off a way to win, and pull off a win in that environment as the underdog. Not many teams can do that at Lane Stadium.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was a hard-fought victory. There were definitely times I thought that we were going to piss this one away, all the way down to Loserville. But, we found a way to come out and win. I still am baffled to wit's end that Jack Cohn is the quarterback of this team. But hey, look, he went down, he got the touchdown, obviously, and found a way to win. I mean, it's always ugly when Cohn's in the game. It's not as ugly when Drew Pine's in the game. Unfortunately, Pine did not play a snap in this one. So, it is what it is. I do not like the quarterback situation. I don't like the way Brian Kelly's going about it. But hey, another narrow victory and another win for the Irish.
Drew Pine was only good in the Wisconsin game because Wisconsin had no film on him, and neither did anybody else, Dylan. That is the only reason that Drew Pine was able to do what he did against Wisconsin.
No chance. No chance.
There is a chance.
No, look, okay. You can say all you want about that, about Drew Pine not having any tape on him or any of that stuff. You want to throw this narrative out there. Drew Pine's the best quarterback on this team. He has everything that the other two don't. He has the rushing ability, not as good as Tyler Buchner, but he has rushing ability to where he's not the Statue of Liberty in the pocket, quote JR on that one. And he can also throw the ball deep, and his footwork and his intangibles remind me a lot of Baker Mayfield. You can laugh because he's not been the best NFL quarterback this year, but look, he's a smaller stature quarterback. He can move in the pocket. He can make plays downfield. And with the way we've seen this offensive line be inconsistent, he does all the things you need to win on this offense. But yet you still send out Jack Cohn. You still send out Buchner because he's young, he's talented, he's fresh, he's got legs. I mean, you can't continue this carousel at the quarterback position. You're not going to win many football games. And you look at the narrow victories they have, it's because of the quarterback position. And I think Drew Pine's the best quarterback that we have right now on the roster. And he's got to go out there and they got to commit to him 100%. Otherwise, they might not win all these games because the inconsistency of the offense relies on the quarterback position.
Look, I do agree that Drew Pine is a phenomenal quarterback. To be quite frankly, wow. English is hard, Landon, I know. To be quite honest, Dylan, we overloaded ourselves with the quarterback position this year. There's no doubt about it. Looking back on it, taking Jack Cohn as a grad transfer, maybe not the best idea. Maybe, because we have 3 phenomenal quarterbacks.
Stop the cap. If I had a whistle right now, I'd blow it at you. We do not have 3 phenomenal quarterbacks. We have 3 quarterbacks.
We have 3 phenomenal quarterbacks.
Okay, you think Jack Cohn and Tyler Buchner right now in his freshman year are phenomenal quarterbacks?
With a good offensive line that the Notre Dame offensive line played on Saturday, Jack Cohn shined. Jack Cohn shined against Virginia Tech when we had a good offensive line that played through the second quarter, through the fourth quarter.
108 yards and a touchdown. That's superstardom. So I'll tip my hat to you on that one. I mean, he
won us the game.
Stick him in Montana territory because he is a phenomenal quarterback.
He won us the game. He won us the football game.
It took him a long time to find a way. Hey, let's go down the field and win the game. It took him a long time to do that.
Okay, whatever. To be continued. We have so long to continue this argument. I think that's been a topic that we've discussed literally every time on this show.
Over under 2.5 quarterbacks used against USC.
1. I'm the underdog guy. I'm always taking the over under. I'm always taking the under. I'm always taking the underdog. Anyway, look, Buchner had some freshman. Wow, gosh, it's a Monday. Buchner had some freshman mistakes. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the last 2 games that Buchner's played in, he's had some really, really bad freshman mistakes. I mean, you look at the interception he threw against Cincinnati. It was right to him, on the run, while he's falling down. It reminded me of Jack Cohn's interception, quite frankly, in the end zone. And then you see in the Virginia Tech game, he literally, the coverage was on the right side of the field. Now, I get it's hard in that environment to hear, but I can guarantee you that they were pointing out the coverage. He took the snap, he looked to the right, and he never took his eyes off the right side. He has to look downfield. You saw Avery Davis. He was looking for Avery Davis on the right side. He had receivers on the far side, on the left side, I'll call it, wide open. He took the snap, stared him down, threw it. And then he also had another one, I believe, correct? He had 2.
Yeah, he had 2.
Yeah, yep. And both of them could have easily been avoided. He's young.
He's a phenomenal quarterback, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He's learning.
I just wanted to make sure. Look, we talk about at the beginning of the year, can Tyler Buchner be the starter on day 1? I said start him, play him the whole year, get him that reps before the tough schedule next year. I've said it many times on this show. This is one of those games I was a little bit concerned if we went in the direction of Tyler Buchner for the entire season. Look, it's a tough environment. We mentioned that many times so far throughout today. And he's a young quarterback. He's not going to go out there and set the world on fire in Virginia Tech in a game like that at night under the lights. Like, that's a tough environment for a freshman quarterback to be in. And that's a little bit surprising to me to see him get that many snaps in this contest. And I mean, it is what it is. We figured he would struggle in a big game like this. So it's just the experience factor for him. Maybe this helps him out next season if he ends up winning the job after Drew Pine transfers somewhere.
Oh, here we go. Anyway, okay. Look, our defense is very shaky. We stepped up to win the game, though. In the last drive of the game, I could have easily gone south. I thought it was going to go south. They were moving the field on the last drive of the game. Virginia Tech was. And when we tied it up and they had to go, I thought we were going to lose the game because of how bad our defense was. I felt like I was watching a Brian Van Gorder coach defense against Virginia Tech, and up until the last two defensive drives. Like I mentioned, look, it was a sloppy win, but it's a big win. It's a bigger win than meets the eye mentally. I mean, you go into your bye week saying 5-1, we beat ourselves against the number 2 team in the country, because that's what we did. If I can guarantee, if we don't turn the ball over 3 times in that first half, 2 of them in the second quarter, we're talking about a whole different narrative. Would we have won the game? I'm not going to say, because I'm quite frankly, I'm not sure. I don't even want to get into the what ifs, but I know for sure that if we don't turn the ball over 3 times in their own territory, that we could be talking about a whole different team and a whole different style. And you look at what happened this week in college football. Notre Dame would be in playoff contention, talk no doubt about it. I think
they would. They would. I'll jump in here for 1 second. I think they will still be in playoff contention, or not. If they would have won, if they're 6-0, I think they're still in playoff contention. But we all know this team is flawed. Like the wins, I mean, we could be up there and be like, hey, look, the Irish are top 4 in the nation. But you as a fan, you can't sit here and be like, wow, we're a top 4 team in the nation. Like, like they're escaping wins. It was earlier in the year they played, was it Toledo they escaped? Yes. And then they escaped. I don't want to say escape, but they pulled out a close victory against Virginia Tech. Every single victory's been close. Purdue, until the big run by Kyron, like every single game has been close, except for Wisconsin, where there were 2 defensive touchdowns late, and there was everything else taking place. Every single team that Notre Dame has played on their schedule this year has been a close contest outside of looking at the numbers.
I agree. We're not a top 4 team. We're not a top 5 team. We're not a top 10 team. Maybe. We're right on the border. We're right. I feel like we're a border team, border top 10 team. We're hanging in there. Obviously, we're 13th in the country, but I think we could go anywhere from 13 to 9. If I'm being totally honest, like you mentioned, if you're 25th, you're not ranked. If you're 10th, you're not in the top 10. Right? Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, right now you're just hoping for a good bowl game.
Oh, we'll get a good bowl game. I feel like we have a very solid chance to run the table here, but I'm not going to jinx anything. All right, Dylan, any final thoughts on Virginia Tech before we open up the book to Southern Sucks, California?
Yeah, not really. I was glad to see Kyron Williams. He led the team in receptions. Sure. Glad to see him get some work out of the backfield in the receiving department. I mean, I've been calling for that all year. More screens, more checkdowns. Make it simpler, especially when your line's collapsing a little bit. Just check it out. Get the ball out to your playmakers. He's your best playmaker on offense, and yeah, that's how I felt.
He's my offense. He's my player of the game. If I'm being totally honest with you. Oh, for sure. I don't know who can be outside of Kyron Williams. He made some great plays. I just want to make a note that we beat Virginia Tech with 17 freshmen. 17 freshmen that came in the game without Michael Mayer. I was very worried. We went down 10-0. I was not going to lie. I was worried, but win's a win. All right, Dylan. It is rivalry week, even though we're basically the only team who plays a rival this week. We play the USC Trojans, and obviously, USC's the biggest Notre Dame rival outside of Michigan. We play for the Jules Shalalik Trophy. This has a 2019 vibe to it. You have a one-loss Notre Dame, same record, and a struggling USC team. And we all know how 2019's game went. We jumped off to a pretty hot start. I mean, we were up quite a large amount in that game, but we fell apart towards the end and only ended up beating them by 3 points. This absolutely has a 2019 vibe to it. Do you remember that game? I think you were working at PetSmart.
I was working at PetSmart, and yeah, that was not a fun experience, but it was a good game.
Yeah, it was
not my experience at PetSmart, but I was there was someone checking out. I remember it clearly. He was talking to me about the Notre Dame game and saying everything that was taking place, and I just wanted to slap him, but
Fired.
Yes, Notre Dame's down. What?
Yeah, we did get down early. Anyway, need Kyron Williams to have a breakout game. USC, obviously he had a breakout game last week and against Purdue, but I'm talking like Duke or a type of Clemson game that he had. That's the Kyron Williams that we are going to need against USC. I know they're a struggling team. They're not a good team whatsoever, but look, it's a rivalry game. It's Notre Dame USC. USC's coming into Notre Dame Stadium as the underdog. It's going to be a dogfight. I mean, outside of 2017 and 2014, this rivalry has been neck and neck. There's USC pulled away late in the fourth quarter. in 2016, but we were right there with them. It's going to be a dogfight. I can promise you that. The line is right now at 7, favoring Notre Dame. I think it's a little low. I think it's a little low.
You think it's going to be a pounding?
No, what I mean is I think – I'm sorry. I think it's a little high. My bad. It's Monday. That's my excuse today. It's Monday. I think it's a little high. I think right now, I think the line should be about 4.5. Let's go 4.5 Notre Dame. I think that's the line. That's what the line should be.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I mentioned earlier, we play every team close. It's how it's been all year. USC is a talented program. They're coming up into a night game at Notre Dame Stadium. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. I remember Sam Darnold came up to Notre Dame Stadium, and Notre Dame put a shellacking on them. So there's multiple times that we've seen USC come up, they lose big, and then they go home. But I don't think that's the case this week. I think it's going to be a closer contest. Both teams are – Notre Dame's treading water with their victories. Like, they're winning, but they're not doing anything special. They're not doing anything not to lose. But like I said, the 2 quarterback thing is going to be something to watch. You got to find a way to get some consistency on offense, because big programs with 5-star people on the outside are going to find a way to beat you if you do not have anything going your way.
I agree. We cannot have a game like Toledo or Cincinnati, because USC will take advantage of it real quick. Our defense has to be dominant. This is going to come down to defense. Are we going to get Notre Dame defense back? I think we will in this game, and you'll find out in our picks later why. We can't have turnovers. I mean, we had was it 3 against Virginia Tech or 2?
I believe so. Okay. I knew there were 2 picks.
Right. We can't have turnovers. They took advantage of them. They took advantage. It changed the whole momentum of the game. We can't have them. And I think that's one thing Cone, he's been solid. He hasn't really turned it over that much, has he?
No, he's been all right, but then again, like he's made some mind-boggling decisions, like the touchdown or the pick against Cincinnati in the red zone. Like there's these stupid things that he just does, and it's oh gosh, it's like Phillip Rivers.
Oh my God! No, don't.
It is. It's Phillip Rivers.
No. I know, but don't bring up that name. He torched Green Bay last year in the 4th quarter. I don't want to hear that name ever again. Phillip Rivers. Hope he's doing well in his high school. Dylan, 3 keys to the victory for the Irish on Saturday night.
I think you hit on it pretty hard. You got to find a way to not turn the ball over. That's going to be big. You can't turn the ball over. Got to find a way to limit turnovers. I'd like to see the passing game. I don't care who it is. Honestly, I do not care who it is. Just have me a quarterback throw for over 300 yards, multiple touchdowns, and let's put up a shellacking on offense. I mean, let's unleash this thing. Tommy Rees has shown to be a good play caller in the previous seasons. This year, he's been a little suspect. I'll give him that. But I think there needs to be an opportunity for some big plays, for some playmakers on the offense, and you need to find a way to put up big yardage totals against a team like USC. And third, I believe Jonathan Doerr needs to come to the field with his kicking boots on and make sure he hits every single kick through the uprights, because God forbid if USC beats Notre Dame because Jonathan Doerr cannot make a PAT or an extra point, or I guess it's the same thing, or a field goal, then there's going to be some issues with me as we head on next week's show, because I will not be a happy camper and I may not have a camera to record on. It might be smashed. That's what I'm getting at.
I think we got the hint of what you're going to
spike it to the ground.
Jesus. All right, Dylan. Those are 3 really great points. Very great keys. Fantastic. I agree with every single one of them. Shall we get into the Week 8 picks?
Let's do it.
All right, Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2, we have 14th ranked Coastal Carolina at unranked 4-2 Appalachian State.
Crystal clear. It's the Chanticleers.
Appalachian State. It's where teams go. It's where teams go to have their dreams killed. I'm going with App State in the upset. Appalachian State upsets Coastal. Sorry, they got a lot right. App State's a solid team. They dominated Marshall.
Line's 3.5. I get it.
Go with App State at home. Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN, we have Tulane, the Mean Green. No, that's Texas. That's Texas. They're the Mean Green, aren't they? Tulane's the Green Wave. Whatever.
Yeah.
At 21st ranked SMU.
Give me Southern Methodist, 21st team ranked in the country. Tulane 1-5. They do not stand a chance in this contest.
Yeah, give me SMU. They got firepower. Navy put up a fight with SMU last week.
That's all they're going to do. Give me Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati at Navy on ESPN2. We got Cincy, both of us. Pretty large, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two people picking number 2.
Funny. Third ranked Oklahoma at Kansas at noon on ESPN. Why is this game, out of all games that are happening on Saturday, why is this game on ESPN?
Unfortunately, this is not basketball, so give me Oklahoma.
Give me Oklahoma as well. They're looking like a playoff team. They're looking like a contender to win it all this year with that offense last week. Oklahoma football offense is back. Defense? Yeah. All right. Northwestern at 6th ranked Michigan on Fox Sports. As JR says, this could be a little bit of a letdown for the Wolverines. Are they looking ahead to Sparty?
This is unbelievable. Every week you do not give Michigan any respect. And I understand it comes from the hatred and the passion towards the Irish.
Time out. I will admit that Michigan is a solid football team. They have yet to be battle tested though. Right now their best win is Rutgers. And they struggled against Rutgers. They struggled against Nebraska.
However, I believe they will not struggle against Northwestern. Give me Michigan by 15.
Okay, I'm going to go along the same road. I was just saying that it might be a little bit of a letdown. They're looking ahead to Sparty.
I got a couple buddies going to this game, so
I'm taking Michigan by 24 points. Northwestern is a joke. Like, seriously, they are a joke. I feel bad because they extended Paul Fitzgerald. That was a terrible move.
They should have brought in Larry Fitzgerald.
See, then you go and do something like that. That ruins the vibe. Okay. Michigan by 24. Illinois at 7th ranked Penn State on ABC. See, here's another one. Why is this on a prime channel?
Because the Illini are going to lose. Give me Penn State.
Give me Penn State. What's the line you're looking at? I have no paper. You have it on.
Line 23.5.
Yeah, Penn State. Do they have Clifford back?
I believe so.
Even if they didn't, it's going to be a large victory for the Nittany Lions. Give me Penn State. 16th ranked. Wow, 16th ranked Wake Forest at Army on the CBS Sports Network.
Give me the Armed Forces.
Are you kidding me? You're going with Army.
Yep.
Wake Forest, 7-0. They're my ACC champion this year. Give me the Deeks.
Really? Where's Vanderbilt fit in that equation? We don't want to talk about it. It's a topic to avoid. Next game, host.
3 p.m. Wisconsin at 25 ranked Purdue on Big Ten.
Oh, yuck. Yuck. You know what? Give me the Badgers.
I'm trying to get over the fact that you just mentioned Vanderbilt on the show and me every week. You're never going to let me live that down, are you?
No, it's a bad one.
We're going to be doing this in 2024, and you're going to be like, hey, remember that time you picked Vanderbilt to finish second in the East?
You thought Clark Lee was that dude?
What an idiot. But yeah, I'm going with Wisconsin. Purdue coming off a big win against Iowa. Iowa's offense is terrible. Good win for Purdue. Good for Purdue. They have a football team apparently. Good win. Solid win. Hunter's not going to like this, but Purdue does not deserve to be in the top 25, if I'm being totally honest. They got beat to a Minnesota team who lost to Bowling Green State University.
There's a Bowling Green State?
Well, that BGSU, that's their game. Bowling Green is Bowling Green State.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, but Purdue doesn't belong in the top 25. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry to say it. They're overrated. Like you mentioned, if you're 25, you are not in the top 25.
Yeah.
I think their defense shuts down this game. Look, you're playing Wisconsin. Their offense is terrible, like Iowa's. Give me the Badgers. They need to get right game. This is their get right game. All these Purdue fans saying, "Oh, we have a chance. We have a chance." On Wisconsin. 3 p.m. 8th ranked Oklahoma State at Iowa State on Fox. Is this Gus Johnson or no? He has the noon game with Michigan. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, give me Iowa State.
No.
Yeah, Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy's a joke. Iowa State's a joke. Oklahoma State, they're 6-0.
There's not a chance Oklahoma State wins. That might be a very bold take, but there is not a chance Oklahoma State wins. And I'll give the floor. 3:11 p.m. Monday. What's the date? October 18th. I'll come back to this. I'll clip it. I'll tell you there isn't a chance Oklahoma State wins this football game. All Iowa State all day long.
Off-air conversation about this one. I'm going with Oklahoma State to win this one largely. Give me the Cowboys, baby. Shoot them off them guns. Pew, pew. All right. What?
Shoot it.
Boom. All right. 10th ranked Oregon at UCLA. This is tricky.
No, it's not. Give me the Ducks.
This is tricky. I said it was tricky. Now it's tricky.
It's not tricky.
It's tricky. UCLA sucks. Oregon sucks. Give me Oregon, just because UCLA sucks even more than Oregon. Oregon looked like they were going to lose to a historically bad California team last week. Oregon does not look good. They went from a playoff team to a not playoff team, just like the snap of a finger. That loss to Stanford really just changed. I feel like it changed their whole season. I think they might lose 2 more games at least.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a big one. Obviously, go ahead, man. Yeah. I'm going with Oregon, by the way. LSU at 12th ranked Ole Miss on CBS. This is an interesting game. You know, how does Coach O and his team handle the news with Coach O obviously not going to return in 2022? You know, will his team collapse, knowing that their coach is, you know, probably not dedicated anymore since he's going to be leaving? How's this going to work?
What if he takes a USC job?
You know he was at USC, correct?
I did not know that, so he probably won't take that job.
He took over after Lane Kiffin was let go in 2013. We had a game.
Well, look at this. It's Lane Kiffin again here.
Right. Dylan, we played a game against Ed Orgeron at Notre Dame. It was 2013. It was a night game. USC at Notre Dame. We won it 14-10. Obviously, it was a interim head coach for USC, but he left for the SEC. I believe that is when he went to – I can't remember where he was before he was at LSU. I can't remember. I'm not going to try.
We'll look into it. You know what? I think Ole Miss wins this contest as long as Lane Kiffin brings his Titleist hat to dodge the golf balls.
That was such a disgrace. That was one of the most disgraceful scenes that I've ever seen at a college football event.
Yep.
I mean, you guys have so much tradition at Rocky Top, up there in down there in Knoxville, and you want to throw a bottle of frickin' mustard on the field and throw a golf ball at a head coach. You guys are disgraceful, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. And I hope the University of Tennessee pays for it. I really hope they do. They pay, their players had to pay for it because they lost the damn game because of it. I hope the university pays well for this. That was disgraceful. Disgraceful. Give me Ole Miss in this one against LSU big time. Lane's out to prove something. I'm telling you that right now. Ole Miss. Matt Corral, actually, I saw a report that he might not play, but nothing's official. Still give me Ole Miss, even if he doesn't play. If he does play, Ole Miss scores 40-something points. If he doesn't play, Ole Miss scores 30-something points and still beats LSU. All right, move along. We're way over time. I know that. Clemson at 23rd ranked Pitt on ESPN.
Pitt's favorited here, but give me the Tigers of Clemson.
Last time I picked against Clemson, Dylan, I got burnt pretty bad. I picked Boston College to beat Clemson, and it burnt me. by 3 points. I was so mad. They had Boston College literally had 2 times in the red zone to score and win it, and they didn't. I'm going to play it safe here and go Clemson. I can't pick against Clemson, against Pitt. Pitt, how good is Pitt? How good is Pitt? We don't know.
5-1.
Well, yeah, we do know, but their 5 wins are against Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech. I know that one of their wins, but other than that, Pitt's Pitt. I'm not a fan of Narduzzi. All right, night slate. We got at 7 p.m. Tennessee at 4th-ranked Alabama. You know what would be ironic? If the Alabama folks started throwing golf balls right at the Tennessee players.
That would be something. It would also be another ugly scene. Give me the Alabama Crimson Tide by a blowout.
Yeah, Bama wins big. They're out to make a statement, and every single one of their games they have left, Dylan, I can promise you they are going to make a statement. LSU, I'm sorry, they play LSU on the 6th of November. They might get beat by 100.
Maybe.
Obviously, that's not going to happen, but all right. Undeservingly 22nd ranked San Diego State at Air Force on the CBS network.
You know, you got to watch your tone there, Sparkles. They're 6-0. They're 6-0. You know what? Let's do that. I picked the Armed Forces. I'm not going to pick Air Force. Give me San Diego State.
Biggest game, one of the biggest games of the year for Air Force. They're 6-1, 5-1, or 6-1. You tell me. You're looking at it.
6-1.
I'm going with Air Force.
They're 3.5 favorited.
I'm going with Air Force at home. Not that being at home when you played Air Force means something. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. I am wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay. There we go. It's Monday. Lighten up, Sparkles. All right. I'm going with Air Force in this one, upsetting San Diego State, proving that they do not belong in the top 25. Now, when it comes to basketball, yes, they do belong in the top 25. When they went undefeated or whatever, or almost went undefeated. But football, undeservingly so. Give me the Falcons. Here's a tricky one. Not really. UTS, 24th ranked UTSA. We also, if you remember watching in the summertime, Bill Norman's report, I asked the question, what in the world does UTSA even mean? And
I got it.
Yeah, you did get it. University of Texas, San Antonio. They're at Louisiana Tech. This might get ugly.
Yeah, give me University of Texas, San Antonio by 14.
They're a solid team. Like they're the last year it was, who was it? Was it Liberty? No, it was Louisiana Lafayette, correct? No. Dylan,
Liberty Mutual.
Who was it that played Coastal in that bowl game? Was it Liberty? No.
I think it was Liberty.
Okay. They're the Liberty of 2021. Give me UTSA. All right. 5th ranked Ohio State at Indiana on ABC.
Give me the Buckeyes in overtime.
Give me the Buckeyes in regulation. The clock starts running. Obviously, I'm trying to make an analogy here. The clock will run down on Indiana in the 3rd quarter. Their offense is terrible. Their defense is even worse. Actually, their defense is solid. So their offense is terrible. Their defense is solid. Give me the Buckeyes by 24 points in this one. Indiana's garbage.
They almost won last week.
Garbage. South Carolina at 17th ranked, Texas A&M.
I really want to pick the Cox, but I'm going to go with the Aggies here. Give me Texas A&M.
I'm so immature. Yeah, give me TAMU here. They should win out. They haven't played Ole Miss.
You know what this contest? You know what this contest is, right?
Don't say it.
Jimbo Cox. Jimbo against the Cox.
Give me Texas A&M in this one. 18th ranked NC State at a terrible Miami team on ESPN2 at 7:30 p.m.
Manny Diaz. Give me Miami.
Oh, God. Give me NC State by 24 again. Miami's terrible. He needs to be fired. He's going to be fired. He's a joke. Non-ranked game of the week, we got Boston College at Louisville on the ACC network at 4 p.m. A lot on the line here, Dylan, for both of these teams. It could really define how both of these seasons will end for both teams.
Give me the Cardinals of Louisville.
See, I'm gonna have to disagree again, Dylan. This is a pretty big week for us. Like we've disagreed on almost all of them, besides like the obvious ones. Give me Boston College here. Louisville. I still to this day cannot get a read on Scott Satterfield. I cannot get a read on that guy. His teams are always up and down. Give me Boston College. And our not-so game of the week on the Pac-12 network at 3:30 p.m. 2-4 Colorado at 1-5 California.
What a game. They need to put this one on prime time. I mean, Pac-12 network. Let's go. Let's get in line here. I am saddling all up for the 1-5 Cal Bears.
Dylan, worst pick you made today.
Oh.
Give me Colorado. Big. Cal is terrible. They're historically bad. All right. Last game we'll pick here, 7:30 p.m. on NBC. Dylan, game time weather information. 42 degrees at kickoff in South Bend, Indiana. It's going to be nice and cold for the LA boys.
That was the temperature in Atlanta for the game 1 of the NLCS. It got down to, I think it was like 48. So it was cold there too.
Good.
Nevertheless, let me give you my pick here. I got the Irish in this one. Final score being 27-21.
This is not the city of angels anymore, Dylan. You're in God's country. Give me the Irish 31.
Jeez.
13.
That's a good win.
Hammer down. Put the hammer down on them. Put the hammer down on them. Can't stand USC. All right, Irish fans, that is all Dylan and I have for you today. As always, go Irish and love the Notre Dame. See you next time, Irish fans.